Good morning. Hope everybody's doing great. Welcome, Child's Play 3. Welcome, MW Courtney 78. If you're new to the scope, definitely give me your name and where you're coming in from. Hey, it's Wortham. Hey, K19. Hey, CC Cart 27. Hey, Reverend Dr. Pearl. Good morning. Good morning, Reeve Lee. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Big Dog Dynasty. Hey, Regina. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Miss Lady 774. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Keisha B. Welcome back. Hey, Empowered Essentials. Ooh, good morning. Can somebody say y'all happy to see it's Friday? Good morning, Miss Encourager. Good morning. Good morning. How you guys doing? So I'm packing, getting ready to go on the road. First road trip of the year. First road trip of like 70. So this is like, haven't really traveled since I got sick in October. Girl, I don't know, Keisha. I'm not even going to speak on it because I don't know. Good morning, Chiquita. If you're new to this scope, definitely tell me your name and where you're coming in from. Today, we're going to be talking about risk. I was talking to one of my, she's actually my sister, my best friend of about 20 years. And both of us were executives at Chase. I was a vice president, of course, and she was a vice president as well. And one of the things we talked about at Chase was, I don't feel radiant. I am very tired. Hey, Alex, welcome. Hey, New York Kit Kat. Hey, guys, good morning. Oh, very good. Thank you, Kimmy Sweet. That's something I'm doing, just trying to stay encouraged on this journey, just trying to have the emotional fortitude as well as the religious fortitude. And for those of you who don't know who I am, of course, my name is Danielle Patterson Winningham, former JP Morgan Chase executive and business consultant now that just wants, good morning, Laura, who just wants to help put you in touch with living your best life. And talking to I'm absolutely not driving. I'm in my house. Talking to my best friend, my business best friend, and sister. And we were talking about people. And some days, I'm going to be brutally honest, which I always am. My name is Danielle. I'm going to be brutally honest, as I always am. Talking to her, we said that coaching people and that's too funny. Coaching people sometimes is like wrestling them for their own spirit. And I don't know. Oh yeah, am I driving? Yeah. Yes. Yes, girl. Can y'all help me? Can y'all get on the block patrol, please? But you come on a daily basis. Yes. You come on a daily basis. And when I come here, I'm coming to empower somebody. You can tell when you have a word. I'm coming to help somebody live a better life. But in order for people to get that, they have to accept it. And unfortunately, people can't. It's change, and change is hard for people. Ooh, boy, I tell you what, and one of the reasons I've been getting up praying is to keep the distractions to a minimum, if at all possible, in life, in business. And it seems like the minute Felicia, yes, sister, yes. So I say that to say, don't make me fight so hard to help you. Don't make me fight so hard to help you change your life. Don't make me fight so hard to help you get to where you want to be in life. Help me help you. That's my word for the day. And it's worth the risk. Good morning, Cindy. It's worth the risk, and I know that change is difficult for everybody, but if you don't do nothing, good morning, Tanya, if you don't do anything, but sit and watch, thank you, Bowlegs 3. Oh, I know it. If you don't do anything but sit and watch, what's going to happen is life is going to pass you by and you're going to regret it. You're going to regret that you didn't do the most that you could do. You're going to regret that you didn't do the best that you could do. And I don't want anybody on my watch, not on my watch, do I want anybody to have those regrets. So when I'm talking, make sure you're listening. But not only that, make sure you're going back and applying what I'm teaching you to your life and to your business so that you can live up. That's all this is about, is are you living your best life? How many of you know for a fact that you're capable of much more than what you're doing right now? Good morning. Good morning. How many of you know for a fact that you're capable of living a much better life than what you're living right this minute? And it's not saying you're living a bad life right now. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that there's opportunities everywhere for you to, if you really sat down with a pen and paper, if you really sat down with the ultimate idea of what your life would look like. And that's why I'm not a bopper. That's why I'm not all about this celebrity and that celebrity, this and that, because I really feel like all of us have the opportunity and the potential to be just as great as anybody we're sitting and watching on television. Sometimes Troy will be like, babe, come watch the game with me. And I'll be like, well, I don't have time. Those athletes, they got their money already. I got to get mine. Or my kids would be like, Ma, let's go shopping. I'll be like, ooh, baby, don't, The mall got their money already. I'm trying to get mine. And so if we could just shift the focus away from watching what everybody else is doing and really sitting still and watch what we're doing just for a moment. And I know it's a hard truth. Right, I got to go get Mind Empowered Essentials. I know it's a hard truth. I know it's sometimes hard to look at our own life, our own finances, our own bank account, our own home, our own car, and say to ourselves, I made this. Good, bad, or indifferent. I made this. Me and my mind. And so when you start thinking different things and start acting on those different thoughts, you can change absolutely everything around you. And that's what we're going to talk about today. But you can't just talk about it. You can't just think about it. You have to do. That's why do is my word of the year, because you have to do something. You have to do something in order for your life to change. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, Amanda, good morning. And, there are opportunities everywhere. Thank you, Dame, for sharing on Twitter. For all of you who shared on Twitter and inviting your followers, thank you so much. Good morning, the Karen Warren. You have to do. I started at the end of last year making classes that were super affordable. Affordable to the fact, and I know people will say, hey, D, I can't afford to work with you right now. Because your initial consultation is $1,000 and it's $500 a month after that. I know everybody can't afford that. Okay, can't afford that. I'm going to be honest with you. I know that. But I know my individual time and my individual effort is worth it. But at the end of last year, I said, okay, I'm going to make classes that are super affordable for anyone who wants them. $26 a week. I said $26 a week is the equivalent of you eating out, or you getting your nails done, or you buying a new pair of shoes. See, because you can't do things for free, because people don't get free. Somebody better tap the screen for hearts, because I'm talking about your livelihood right now. I'm not talking about mine. And so I made the classes super affordable. Number one, so that people could get into classes. But number two, so that people could continue the classes. So that people could have some consistency in their life. And it's still a struggle, because when it's all said and done, I can't give anybody anything that they don't want themselves. And that's the struggle of being a life coach, being a business coach, being a manager, being a parent, anything. For for everything that you're trying to do to help someone else in the world, that individual has to want that help. They have to be able to look at their lives and say, I don't like, welcome Joyce, I don't like my current situation and I want to change my current situation. So I want to talk about today some things that are going to help you change your current situation by changing your mind. Number one, realizing that your thoughts and your feelings are not your existence. I may have negative thoughts, I may have negative feelings, but that's not who I am. I have to work to rid myself of those negative thoughts, and I have to work to rid myself. Guys, y'all not gonna argue on this scope now, and don't be name calling Cindy. I didn't even know what New Skin Love was saying, so I think they were talking about something else. Oh, okay, all right. Your thoughts and your feelings, while valid and while real, are not who you are. And you have to work to move yourself away from those negative thoughts and those negative feelings. That's number one. Number two, you got to run some risk. You got to get off the doggone fence. You've got to. You've got to do something that is different from what you did yesterday. It is January 29th. If I were to ask how many of you kicked the year off saying, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and you're behind in what you said you were going to do, because to be honest, you've just not moved your feet. And you can say, well, I didn't know how. Me too, New Skin. I was like, what even happened? I didn't even see anything happen. Thank you for being my scribe, Lila, and thank you guys for the hearts. Keep the hearts going. But you know, you've had opportunities, and somewhere along the way, you said, well, I'm afraid to do that. I'm afraid to do this. And so your situation has not changed. You've got to know that in order to have something, you've got to risk something. You've got to risk something. You've got to change something. And you've got to do something different. Three things. You've got to risk something. If you want a different life, you've got to change something. And you've got to do something different. You can't keep going down the same road thinking somebody's going to pick you up. You can't keep doing same thing and expecting different results. You've got to do something different. And that's in your life. That's in your business. Right, Dame 1174. You know, your calling is reaching out to you. But you've got all of these excuses as to why you're not going. So you've got to do something different. The risks are worth it. Trust me. Are you going to win 100% of the time? Absolutely not. But you're going to win enough that it's going to do something different in your life. All right? So that's number two. Number three, you need to realize that happiness is not material things. Happiness is not money. Happiness, that's right, same pattern, same result. Happiness is living the life you want. It's not money, and it's not stuff. You know what? I was coming home I had to go to the airport yesterday to pick up a car because I'm traveling today. Coming home from the airport, rushing to beat rush hour traffic, and realized that that's not my life anymore. I used to be an executive at Chase. I was at Chase I left a day before my 16th year anniversary. And realizing, and I used to rush every day, because if I didn't get in traffic by about 3:30, 4 o'clock, what would happen is I would be stuck in rush hour traffic. And anybody that knows anything about Houston traffic knows that rush hour traffic is real crazy. It's real crazy. Oh, go ahead, Dame. And me too. It's building a legacy for my family. And just realizing that even though I traveled that same route for 16 years, thank you guys for the hearts, that's not my life anymore. Can somebody say amen? To be able to walk away from a 6-figure job and do what you love to do. That's my new life. I don't have to. Yes, happiness is peace of mind. But let me tell you something. I had to take some risks to get here. I had to invest in myself to get here. I had to do some stuff that was not the normal to get here. But I got here. And so as I sit here wrestling with you for your destiny, and I told my brand manager that the other day, I said, boy, being a business coach, especially coaching people to do what they love to do and get paid for it, is like wrestling people for their souls. You would not believe how hard you guys fight me sometimes for your destiny. And the fact that it's my destiny to fight you for your destiny, that's just irony. It is just irony. But, you know, it's tiring. That's why the Lord gave me the spirit of patience, the spirit of stamina, the spirit of fortitude. And I'm literally fighting people to keep them on the path to self-improvement, life improvement, and business improvement. And it's amazing. It's amazing. You know what, Lila? You're absolutely right. Sometimes you have to be selfish for your happiness. You know, I think the hardest thing that it is to get people to believe is that you are enough. It doesn't matter your size, your color, your height, your weight, your background, your current bank account. Somebody better give me some hearts on that one, because let me tell you something. If you look across the gambit of billionaires, you see short, you see tall, you see light, you see dark, you see people that came from rich backgrounds, you see people that came from poor backgrounds. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is, do you believe in your ability to go to that place? Do you believe? Because, you know, that's another thing. I can't believe it for you. As much as I see greatness in you, as much as I see your destiny written all over your face, as much as I see your purpose, as clear as I see anything else, I can't believe your greatness for you. This morning on our daily, yes, right, yes, you got to believe in yourself. This morning in our daily word, you know, we talked about being made in the image of the Most High. And, you know, I don't know why you can even doubt your own greatness. You right, Dame. You got to want it as much as you want the next breath. You got to want it as much as you want to drink water when you're thirsty. You got to want it as much as you want your lunch today. I mean, you've got to want it for you. And, you know, to the point that I even question my $26 classes, because I'm like, do people get it? Do people get the fact that I'm giving you thousands of dollars worth of knowledge, worth of information, motivation, inspiration at an affordable price so that you can move forward? I know that. Now, that's one thing I never questioned. I never questioned my skills, because I know they came from God. And if I don't do anything else, I know for a fact that I'm good at what I do because I took what God gave me and I compounded it. The classes are $26 a week. And the reason, I got a lot of skills, whether it's building relationships in the community. I've won multiple community awards, from presidential awards for community service. You know, whether it's being as a sales coach and executive at Chase, I get hearts by coming in and giving great information, being who I am, being real. And so, you know, I see talent all around me. I see greatness all around me. And I'm offering these olive branches and saying, come. And, oh, not a problem. I say, come and explore your greatness. And people just really, really struggle with that. So you got to realize that happiness is not your clothes and your shoes, your car, your house. Happiness is, am I living the life that I want to live? Number 4, you got to realize you are enough. Number 5 is big. I know they'll get it then, right, Lila, right. Number 5 is big. Your life is your responsibility. Your life, like I said, good, bad, or indifferent, is your responsibility. Your life is your responsibility. It's not going to ever change. It's not going to ever change. If it's something that you don't like about it, you have to do something to change it. And if you don't do something, it's not going to change. A lot of people think number 6. Granny, call Tyler for me. That's right, Joyce. I just said that this morning. God can do things in the supernatural that you can't do in the natural. Number 6, you got to have a community around you. Stop thinking you can do this next level success thing by yourself, because you absolutely can't. Being a lone ranger in anything, life, business, being the smartest person in the room, being the go-to person for everybody, and you don't have anybody to go to yourself, being everybody else's savior and salvation, being everybody else's rock, and then nobody's your rock. You can't make it like that. You will wear yourself literally into the ground. Baby, get my Mickey Mouse cup and rinse it out and put ice and grapefruit juice in it for me. You've got to have community. You've got to have support. And unfortunately, that support is not always going to be who you think it's going to be. You think your family should be there supporting you, but maybe that's not who God called to support you. You think your friends that's been your friends all your life should be there supporting you, but maybe that's not who God called to support you. And so you have to take support regardless as to what it looks like, but you have to go out and garner support. You have to go out and build community. You can't sit at home and say, why is nobody supporting me? You got to understand that in order to be supported, you have to build support to the right people. To the right people. I'm going to say it again. To the right people. You run around doing everything for everybody, and when it's time for them to do something for you, they're conspicuously absent. You've got to realize who's the right people for you to do for, so that you're building community. The right people. The right people. There are certain people, let me tell you, when I was in the hospital, I learned who the right people were. Because the right people, oh, thank you, Dame. I appreciated that. I appreciate that. The right people were picking up my kids every day. The right people were dropping off food at my house. The right people were checking on me. See, when the chips are down, it's heartbreaking, but good morning, Nicole. You can't get stuck on that. You know, you got to say to yourself, am I willing to move to the next level regardless? Regardless as to who stays, regardless as to who goes. Yeah, when you learn quick. Good morning, Selena. You learn fast who the right people are when you're in a situation. So don't wait until you're in a situation until you learn who the right people are. Yes, yes. So you have to build a community of people who actually care. Who actually care about you and what's going on with you. Number 7. Yes. Oh, The Energy Bus. That was one of my favorite books. Number 7. You've got to let go of the past. So many people are held hostage by their past and their past situations. And I mean, even as of yesterday, if your bank account did not look like you want your bank account to look yesterday, let that go and figure out what are you going to do today. You've got, just say me if your bank account doesn't look like you want it to look. Just say me. I'll start it off and say me. I'll start it off and say me because I know God has millions in his storehouse for me. And so I'm ready to go and get what God has in his storehouse for me. So you have to then ask yourself, what am I doing about it? Because we have to stop being consumers and start being producers. I'm going to ask you another question. How many of you know that you have some knowledge right now that if you were to package it correctly, somebody would buy that knowledge and change the status of your bank account? Say me. See, I know for a fact that my experience, my background, my upbringing, my skills, my gifts from God are valuable. And that when I start to cash in on my gifts from God's at the rate at which I'm helping others by the millions, then guess what's going to happen? My bank account is going to change. The more people you serve, the more you're compensated. That's the law of compensation. So you have to stop serving people for free. That's right. That's right. That's right, Joyce. Be selective as to who you allow around you. But you've got to stop running around giving your gifts and your talents away for free. And then because you've given them away from free, you don't have the time and energy to invest in building your purpose, building your business, building your gifts, building your talents. And because you're giving your gifts and talents away for free, when it's time for you to invest in your business, you don't have the revenue to do so. Why? Because you've traded what God gave you for nothing. Why? Because you were too afraid to put a price tag on it. You were too afraid to ask people for money. All of that skills. All of those are not something that's inherent. That is something you learn. And so if you know that's an opportunity for you, you have to take the time to learn. Girl, Lila, let me tell you something funny. I can't wait to see you tonight. That's the first thing. Let me get that out of the way. So I can calm down. But I just want to help people. And I'm tired, Lila, I'm tired of begging people to help them. And them not wanting to help themselves. So it begs the question, am I doing too much to help folks? Do people really want the help? I don't know. Oh, that's going to be good, Dame. Now that is much needed. Let me know when it's up and running. I want to be a professor. That is much needed. That is much needed. Let me tell you my story, Dame. Since you're talking to me this morning, I'm going to talk to you. And if any of you have any questions, because I want to start making this more interactive, I want you to tell me what's going on with you. I want you to ask me your questions. The trolls get on here and talk, and I see hearts, and so I know that's love, but I want to know what's going on with you and what you're struggling with. So, Dame, this is my story. If I were a professor at your school, I would teach every child to take their lemons and make lemonade. I tell people all the time, if you don't have anything but a bucket and some water, then you start a car wash. And you borrow a bucket from your mom and some soap from your mom. You wash enough cars, and then you get a tarp and you cover the car wash. So now you're not washing out in the cold. And in the sun. And so you wash enough cars and you hire somebody. And then you wash some more cars and you get you a building. And you wash enough cars and you start getting some automated equipment. And you wash enough cars and you open another car wash. And see, that's how my mind thinks. And that's how children need to learn to think nowadays. It's not always about going to college and leaving college with, just buried in student loan. It is about what gift did God give you and how do you, college may be the answer and the best way for you to polish that gift. But, an entrepreneurial endeavor may be an even better way. And so we've got to be the model for our children. Our children have to see us taking lemons and making lemonade. So again, I'm on Periscope every day at 7:30 and sometimes 2 and 3 times a day. You have to, a very good question. How do you overcome perfection paralysis? You have to wake up every day and just say, this is what I'm going to do today. There's a fine balance between perfection and sloppiness. You don't want your stuff to be raggedy because it's a representation of you. But if you don't put something out there, then you have nothing to represent. If that makes sense what I'm saying. The person who puts their stuff out there is always going to win against the person who has nothing out there. So we sit and complain sometimes. We complain that schools are not what they should be. And our communities are not what it should be. And our this is not what it should be. That doctor in Flint that stepped up and called out the water situation, they tried to say she was lying. They tried to make her seem like she was a hack. They tried to make her seem crazy. And she said she got sick because they were really just taking her through the ringer before they even admitted that water situation was what it was. But she was willing to make a change. She was willing to do something. She didn't get so caught up in the facts and caught up in the data that children are still getting sick behind the water. So when you get stuck behind what's important, you got to think, what am I risking? I mean, to me, I think the number one risk for me is time. I'm 45. How many more days is God going to let me come here? So as opposed to me getting stuck behind it being perfect, I weigh the cost. It may not be perfect, but I'm going to help somebody. My hair today, far from perfect. Far from perfect. But guess what? If I showed up here today and helped one person, even though I got frustrated at the beginning of the scope because somebody invited a mass amount of trolls, even though, you know what I'm saying? So this scope has been far from perfect. But if it helps somebody, then that's right, Dane. And so, a lot of times we need accountability in our lives, Empowered Essentials. We need somebody to say, girl, that's fine, just keep going. That's something I do with my clients. I do really push them. I do really challenge them. I do really make sure that they're ready for this journey. And Donna, thank you. Right. And one thing I've always said is execute now and perfect later. Implement now and perfect later. Because I will tell you what, even with, look at a chemical lab and you can try to get everything perfect. But unfortunately, until you start actually mixing things together, you don't know what's going to blow up, what's going to spontaneous combust. You don't know what's going to happen until you actually get in the field and putting your hands on things. So it may look perfect in the lab. It may look perfect on your notebook. But when you get out there and actually start moving around, you're going to find that some things are very different than what you thought. Yes, execute now, perfect later. And one thing I say to Tangi is, have you done everything you can do? Trolls are the people that come on here calling you names, harassing you. Those are trolls. Those are trolls. We don't want to talk about them because they pop up. The minute you say their name, they pop up. But you know, sometimes, Donna, that fear of imperfection is you don't have that sounding board or somebody to say, hey, Donna, well, I've tried that before. And this is what I struggle with. I don't know why so many people start businesses without a business consultant. You know, if you really want the business to be successful, you have to ask yourself, and even the Bible says, you know, without wise counsel, the people perish. And so that's why I made the affordable classes, so people that can come on board and get help at a reasonable rate, not think that they have to spend, yeah, my hair is far from perfect today, not feel that they have to spend an arm and a leg. But if you're going to do something as important as starting your own business, I truly think that it warrants professional advice. And that's just my 2 cents. But we were raised, right? You don't know what you don't know. Absolutely. Me and my business partner used to say that all the time. But we were raised that we can do so many things alone. We were raised that we're super women and we can bring home the bacon and fry it up in the pan. We were raised to just get out there and try to make it work. And unfortunately, that can be disheartening, because what happens is when you fall down, you struggle with the mental piece of getting back up. Oh, not a problem, Joyce. And you know, yes, Lila, always learning, always you know, finding a way where you think there is no way. And yeah, that is the long way around, Dr. Wright. There's only two teachers, your experience and someone else's experience. Now, business coaching and business consulting does not exonerate you from failures, but it does mitigate your failures. It does taper them down. You do get the voice of reason that says, hey, you know, I've tried that before. I've had other clients try that before. It didn't work for them. These are the reasons that it did not work for them. Oh, thank you, Joseph. Not sure if that's a compliment or not. But these are the reasons that it didn't work for them. And at that point, you're free to run, you know, your own personal risk as to what's going to work for you. But it gives you that opportunity to say, okay, now I have a better hypothesis. And a hypothesis is just an educated guess. That's it. So, you know, stop thinking you're alone, because if you are alone, you're alone by choice. I run a national women's organization, and our focus this year is the total woman, because we know so many women struggle in business, consistency, because of what's going on in their life and what's going on with their families and what's going on with their relationships. And so we're going to address the total woman this year, mind, body, and spirit, while helping them build generational wealth. And I can tell you from experience and then from study, there's a book called The Millionaire Next Door, and he runs through the demographics of various millionaires. Thank you, Dr. Wright, for sharing on Twitter. And the mass. Okay, very good. My website is IamDanielleWinningham.com. You can find my name and just IamDanielleWinningham.com, or you can Google me. But thank you for joining. Come back tomorrow at 7:30. Hey, Texas Photo House, welcome. Hey, Dasha 20202, welcome. And so, but what they found is that the mass majority of millionaires are men. We knew that. But the reason why is not necessarily because men are smarter. It is because men have the ability to focus 100% on their business, because the majority of the men that were surveyed that were millionaires had a wife at home who, take care of the kids, taking care of the family. Okay, I will, Kimmy Sweet. Taking care of the family, taking care of, and so all they had to do was focused 100% on the business. But I have multiple six-figure businesses. I was an executive at Chase while I was building these businesses. I was a single mother of 3 teenagers. My mother is with me. And I have a man. And so I had all this stuff to focus on in addition to, somebody say plus, because I'm not the only woman. I'm not the only woman who does all of that. And I talk to a ton of powerful women. Somebody say plus. Plus, I got to go pick up the kids. Plus, I got to go to the grocery store. Plus, I got to drop the first twin off at work. Plus, I got to pick the second twin up after a game. Plus, I got to run my son over here to apply for a job. Plus, it doesn't stop. Plus, you got to cook. Plus, you got to do the laundry. Plus, you got to go school shopping for the kids. Plus. And so that is the reason that women struggle the way we struggle. And in all of that, it's tough. Plus, girl, I had to get rid of the dogs, y'all. I had to let the dogs go. And the girls were mad at me, but we had 2 labs. Labs are super energetic, super needy. I'm struggling to keep up with the kids. I can't keep up with these dogs too. We had, at one point it was like Noah's Ark around here. We had guinea pigs and dogs. Plus I got to clean up. Come on, y'all. And so it's no wonder that we become mentally imbalanced. And I say that to open the door to let you know you're not by yourself. That we struggle because we had Plus I got it right. We struggle mentally because we have so much on our plates that some days we don't. Yes, Supermom Leah, I would love for you to, guys, I want to give you this link too, because I really want to help some women, and it can't just be my voice. The link is bit.ly what's next WSN, all caps. What's next WSN. We're having a total women's teleconference, and Dame, you're invited to put your application in too. The theme is life, love, and legacy. You don't even have to know me to put your bid in to be a speaker. Our goal is to have 1,000 women on the teleconference over 7 days, February 15th through February 21st. And we're going to be talking about life, love, and legacy. There's going to be men on too. Wednesday is Men's Day. Wednesday is going to be full of just men hosting and talking about, their role in the relationships with women, their role in the relationship in the family, men's empowerment. It is going to be incredible. It's bit.ly/what's next WSN, all caps. Put the link up for me, Lila, and make sure it works. WHATS next WSN. For those of you who don't know, I'm also a founder of a national women's organization. At the end of 2015, we had 50 chapters nationally and close to 5,000 members. And so I really want to expand our chapters this year and expand the support that we provide women from a total woman's perspective. And bringing in the men's piece of it. I'm excited too, Tangi. It's going to be an awesome teleconference. What's Next WSN has the link to all of the opportunities we have within the organization, whether it's becoming a chapter president, whether it's being a host for... girl, I'm finna come give me some fish and chips, girl. I want me a fish sandwich. I do. And I love that story, by the way, Leah. Girl, it's just, I'm telling you, I told one of my clients yesterday, as long as you can, stay in your house with no overhead, stay in your house with no overhead. Don't be in a hurry to get to a storefront. Don't. Supermom, no, it wasn't thanks to me. You know, I take credit for being obedient and being here. You have to take the credit for going out and executing. So I'll tell you guys, we were on Scope one day talking about your power of earning. And I said, if you got to sell fish plates, then go sell fish plates. And someone took that literally and went out and start selling fish plates. And guys, you've got to just take the brakes off yourself and off of God. But bit.ly, what's next, WSN. And then tomorrow, and Lila, I'm probably going to do it live in Colleen. I'm going to tell them tonight that if they book their tickets for the event tomorrow, I'll host it live with them and virtually with everybody else. But tomorrow I'm having a virtual event called Get the F Out so you can show the F up. And Get the F Out is fear, forgetfulness, fatigue, fakery, foolishness, all of those things that are keeping you from being successful. And it's about leveraging time management skills so that you can be what you want to be to your family. You can be what you want to be in your finances. You can be what you want to be for your future. You can be what you want to be in your fitness. You can even have fun in life and making sure you're getting the, I think that my goal is just to live a life that glorifies God and to help other people do the same. When it's all said and done, I want to take every gift that God gave me and say, God, yeah, get the F out. When I say that, Leah, people are like, ooh, I'm like, no, it's not what you think. It's not what you think. Get the F out so you can show the F up. But it's about being well-rounded and well-balanced. The class is only $26. For my current clients, the class is only $16, and the link is bit.ly. Get the F out 2016. bit.ly. Get the F out 2016. And it's really an opportunity for you to push forward and see some change in your life and stop using I don't have time as an excuse for your success, because you do have time. We all have the same amount of time. Oprah doesn't have, I would love that, Leah. Oprah doesn't have any more time than Denzel has, any more time than Bill Gates has, any more time than Warren Buffett has, any more time. So make sure you're making the most of your time. And this is going to be a powerful class. It's about an hour and a half, the class, and then we're going to do Q&A. Of course, it's going to be on sale on my site after the fact. But, you know, the benefit of coming to a class live is you get to ask the questions that pertain to you. You do. And so that's to me is huge. So does anybody have any questions? Comments? Want to confess what's holding you back? But if you need community and you need partnership, definitely go out to the bit.ly, what's next, WSN link. Yeah, but we can't do fear no more. Let me tell you, when I read that scripture, that God didn't give you the spirit of fear, I'm going to say yes. Because if I'm going to New York, okay, so here's my thinking. That if I'm going to DC, I might as well go to New York. No, Elaine, you can't let that hold you back. You got to pay that debt off. Oh, I know it. I hope to see you Saturday too, Leah. This summer, Lila. So I say if we got to go to Maryland, we might as well go to New York. If we got to go to New York, we might as well go to Connecticut. If you want us to come to your city, there's a link on there for WSN host. And so Phoenix, probably next time I go to California, I'll make a stop in Phoenix. So if I'm going to go to Boston and all of that, I might as well. Oh, Jesus. Y'all pray for my patience today. Matter of fact, I'm going to pray for my own patience. God said even the smallest problems, you understand what I'm saying? Even the smallest things. Even the smallest things. Somebody say amen. Even the smallest things, bring it to him. And so today, I just want you to be encouraged to do something different, to live a life. Yes, Dame. All right. To live a life that glorifies God. That's it. If I could just do that. If I could just do that and helping people live that same life along the way, I think that would be a blessing. So I'm getting ready to run to the nail shop, finish packing my clothes, and jump on the road. But I will see you guys probably this afternoon. I plan to come back and scope before I get on the road. So I love you. Don't forget to take a look at the link, bit.ly, what's next, WSN. You cannot continue to afford to allow opportunities to pass you by. If you're on this scope, you're on this scope for a reason. If you're watching the replay, you're watching for a reason. It's takeover time. And you just need to be in the right place at the right time. And this is it. So I will see you guys later today. I love you much. And Lila, girl, I'm going to be there by 3 o'clock. I'm going to be rolling in. So be on the lookout for me. Oh, yeah. So the Mickey Mouse Cup came from my fitness coach is Tequila and Willie Adolph, Happy Married Fit. So follow them on Twitter at Happy Married Fit because they help you get your fit life in order. Yes, you too, Dame. And definitely DM me, Dame, so we can talk about that entrepreneur school. The link for tomorrow is bit.ly. Get the F out 2016. Get the F out 2016. All right? Love you guys and have a great day. I'll talk to you guys later. Be blessed.